Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another amazing episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He's the tranquil dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American heat. Oh, she's wrong intro. That's for my boy Rob Bass. Rob, sorry about that. In the first corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always on the go, catch him if you can, said his name in Guyana, now they love him in Japan. The worldwide star boy, Grammy Blue. And our
Let's go.
special guest tonight is actually one half, the other half, because we had his tag team partner on last night, the power glider Eddie Martinez. Our special guest tonight is the other half of Horsepower, who will be making their debut at Lucha Brutal Hold My Beer this Saturday, August 28th, against Fly Def. Everybody,
Yes.
welcome to the show. Concrete, Nate
What's
Collins.
up?
Nate
What's
Collins, how you
up?
doing today? How you doing
I'm
tonight, man?
great, boss. I'm great. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Thank you for actually giving us this opportunity. We really and truly appreciate it. You're a busy man. You got a lot of things going on, planning your next step for wrestling and so on. But we really and truly do appreciate you giving this opportunity as well. For those of y'all that are listening, we apologize for the delay. We had some technical difficulties, but we actually fixed. Yeah, man. How's the weather over there in Texas, man?
Man, it's super hot. It actually got up to 100 today. So yeah, we're dealing with that, man. Ooh.
Cool, cool. Yeah. So this Friday, man, August 12th, you and Eddie are going to be going up against, Fly Def, the team of
Woo.
Zach Mason and Warren Johnson.
Woo.
How y'all feeling
Talented,
about
man.
that, man?
We actually honored, bro, because we know that when it comes to Fly Death, if we facing off with them, we facing off with the best. And it's definitely an opportunity for us to show that we can hang with the best and we consider ourselves, as up and coming to be one of the best. So it's definitely gonna be fireworks. You feel me? Hold my beer this Saturday. Be there. I'm excited to be here. We gonna give my man Remy Blue a little bit of time. Sometimes the connection be tripping, but hold my beer. Lucha Brutal. We got horsepower in the building, Fly Death, many, many more. Be there. Haven't got your tickets yet. Get your tickets now. Honor. Wrestling is alive and well, and we just trying to add to it. Remy,
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that.
you good, you good.
Like I said, yeah, my phone was so I normally do this from my phone, but it's giving me trouble, so I'm just doing it from my computer right now. I
All right.
apologize about that.
I
Yeah,
definitely kept it rolling for you, my man. I understand.
yeah. But yeah, man. Honestly speaking, though, I'm looking forward to see. I hope I get to see that maybe on Title Match Network or something, because or Fight TV or something. Because I know I'm familiar with Fly Def,
Uh-huh.
and I know that's definitely gonna be a match for y'all, man. That's definitely gonna be like one of
Woo.
the highlights for y'all. I've seen these guys. I've seen these boys in reality wrestling, and
Yeah,
them guys can go, man.
man. And they look great on top of that. Plus, we didn't see them in AEW now. They definitely on most of the main cards, man. I got the utmost respect for them, but they see me before too, and they know that I'm hungry, and I'm trying to add to, the excitement of the match because it's going to be great.
Yeah. But I always ask Eddie the same thing yesterday or last time. I'm gonna ask you the same thing. We're gonna take a bit of a trip back in time, and I gotta ask you, man, what was the match or the pay-per-view that got you made you become a fan of professional wrestling?
Man, given my age, the Attitude Era was big for me. So I'm definitely gonna have to say corporate ministry, along with the Brood. That right there changed the impression of pro wrestling on me forever. And I just thought that was great, great, great storytelling.
Oh wow. Yeah, that was some really those are some really crazy times, man. The corporate ministry, the Brood,
Yes.
all that was some very impressive times, man. I
Woo.
was it's funny because when I was a teenager at that time. I was like in my mid-teens, and I remember like I was like 14 when the Attitude Era started. Though that was
Yeah,
'97,
that was
and
9 for me.
so when I was there, I was like, I was watching the stuff that they were doing and I was like, yo, 7-year-old me, because I started watching when I was like 6, going on 7,
Hmm.
and I was like, yo, 6-year-old, 7-year-old me would never be able to watch this. Not because I wouldn't want to watch it,
Yeah.
but because my parents weren't gonna have it. Like my mom wasn't gonna have that. Wasn't gonna have me watching, Sable going topless and having you
Hmm.
know, paint on her breast for a bikini contest. Wasn't probably
Yeah,
gonna have
yeah.
me seeing Val Venus with a in a video with a porn star and all
I
that
heard that
stuff.
a lot. I heard that a lot, and it makes me grateful. I had the freedom, man, because what a time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, yeah, that was some crazy times, man. I did get away with doing the DX crotch chop because I grew up in Guyana, which is like a whole different continent, and we have
Hmm.
a different culture. So they knew what the middle finger was because I grew up with my aunt and them. But if I
Hmm.
did the crotch chop, they probably wouldn't have minded because they didn't really understand where it was coming from. As opposed to, living over here in America, and you do that, and you're like, oh boy, you're in trouble now. Your parents saw you doing the crotch chop. You about to get it now.
Man, what was that like, man? What is the culture of professional wrestling over there?
So back when growing up, I don't know how it is now, but when I grew up, I had it was known over in Guyana, but going to high school and stuff. So in my neighborhood, you got your neighborhood friends and you got your school friends. So for my neighborhood, um, the crew that I rode, the guys that I hung out with, I was the only one that would actually watch wrestling. They would actually watch it too if I were watching it, but they weren't
Hmm.
like as hardcore fans of it as I was. Um, then when I went to high school, um, I had like one or two people that would watch it, and they would probably watch it with me. But same thing, they weren't as hardcore as I was. I was the one that would come in there with like the wrestling magazines every month,
Hmm.
and they'd be like, "Yo, let me see that, man," yo, and they'd be like, "Yo, there's DDP and there's Lex Luger and all that stuff," or I'd have like a VHS tape, and like I said, there were a couple others that were like that watched it a lot as I did, and so we would exchange VHSs and so on. So it was kind of almost the same as America, but not as much. But
Hmm.
if a wrestling show came to Guyana, there would definitely be people going to attend it. So if horsepower were to make the way to Georgetown, Guyana, let's
Yeah.
believe I would see some people there cheering y'all on and whatnot.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That makes me happy. That sounds so dope, man.
Yeah. Actually, fun fact, you asked that. I don't know if you know this guy, Rick Lon Stevens, aka Ezekiel Jackson from WWE.
Hmm.
He's Guyanese.
Really?
He's from Guyana. You wanna know who else is half Guyanese? Kenny King from Ring of Honor.
Yes. Whoa, that's major, man.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've known about Kenny for like for years. I'm talking like since like Tough Enough times and seen him in Ring of Honor and all that stuff. And I didn't even know about the guy until I came across. a tweet he made about going on vacation to Guyana. So I'm like, and I know people don't normally go to Guyana. Guyana's not one of those, and I love my country, but you don't hear the average person saying, if I go to the Caribbean, I'm gonna go to Guyana. It's either like
Mhm.
Trinidad or Jamaica.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Kenny, you Guyanese? And then he's like, yeah, his dad's Guyanese. I'm like, man, you should have been told me this. And the funny thing is, this he told me this after I met him. Actually, because I met him in person
Oh,
before in Florida. So I'm like, man, you should have been told me this, man.
that's
Shoots.
major, man.
Yeah, yeah, that was yeah, yeah. We got to see the wrestling in Guyana and so on. It was pretty big over there. I know how it is now, but back then it was pretty big.
Where you
Yeah,
located now?
I'm in North Carolina actually.
Okay. You
Yeah,
not too far from home.
nah, nah, nah. Um, where I really would like to be is New York, because New York is that's where the everybody goes to New York. Let's just say
Hmm.
that everybody like, and it's not a matter of if there's a wrestling show that weekend. It's which wrestling show you want to go to, because you got like three
Definitely.
or
It's
four.
it's it's a hotbed for sure out there, man.
Yeah, you got shows in Brooklyn, then you got one like in the Bronx, then you got one in Queens, and then
Hmm.
there's one somewhere in Manhattan, and then there might be one over in Staten Island, and then you got New
Definitely.
Jersey right next door. And it's like, man, I think I'm gonna go to Jersey this time, you know, and check out what they got over there and so on. So yeah, man, it's a lot over there, really.
Man, I'm trying to get out there myself. It's definitely a hotbed, bro. It's definitely a
Yes,
hotbed.
it is, man. I definitely hope, like Eddie was talking about it the other day, and I was about, I mean, last night, and I was like, man, I hope you and Nate make it out there, man. I hope y'all get to go to, like, Los Angeles, Chicago,
Man,
Florida. And it's funny because he mentioned GCW, and I was like, bro, I was just there last year. I was there like December,
hmm,
and it was a great show. I actually enjoyed it. I met a couple people there. I saw Charles Guerrero wrestle there, and I saw this other Donna Perazzo. She was there too. Yeah, man.
and the opportunities they giving now, I say we can do it, man. I've been seeing a lot of people get their turn, and GCW is a big promotion, man. So wrestling is beautiful right now. And I believe me and Eddie, we hungry, we work hard at our craft, man, really, really hard, and I feel like we gonna make it to those places.
Yeah, man. Just gotta keep pushing, man. Just gotta keep pushing. I always tell people, man, like outside of wrestling, even when it's not wrestling, man, I tell people like if you're into something, man, just work hard and the rewards will come, man.
Yes,
Get what
yes,
you give, and just network, 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 man. I mean, be ready to show your craft. I
man,
told this,
definitely.
I was telling this one person that I think they were going into like music, and I said, yo, most advice I can give you is, just work hard and the rest will come, and be
Yes.
ready to show your craft. Like if somebody were to tell me about, oh, you're a podcaster, what's your podcast? I'm ready to tell them, yeah, Ringside Society. We're on
Hmm.
YouTube. Matter of fact, you can check them out right now. You can follow us. We got this person. Here's my business card, and that's it. You know, I'm ready to
Yes,
show
sir.
people.
Yes, sir.
So, but I know you and Eddie gonna make it. Y'all definitely doing it right. And y'all definitely starting the right place too. I mean, Texas is another hotbed too. I've seen wrestling in Texas. Y'all that
Man,
damn good. I would
yeah,
never sleep
man.
on Texas. Shoot.
Cause I feel like me myself, alongside me, my tag team partner, I feel like we work so hard. But when you see the talent that's coming out of Texas, man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And we're definitely proud to be part of the movement, and we grateful because it's extra eyes on Texas right now. So if we gonna do anything, the time is now.
Oh yeah. Definitely. So what? How? So who were some of your favorites that you enjoyed watching growing up in wrestling?
Man, it's actually so many because I'm a wrestling nerd, man. I watch it and I study it still to this day. I watch 80s wrestling just as much as I watch anything current. So over time, man, for me, number one is David Von Erich. Big
Okay.
80s yeah, big 80s wrestling star, you know. He came out of the DFW area, so
Mm-hmm.
I definitely looked up to, you know, the way he did things.
Yellow
Shawn
Rose of
Michaels,
Texas.
yes, Yellow Rose. Shout out my man David Von Erich. But you know, the charisma of Shawn Michaels and Booker T too, that was another thing that, you know, it inspired me. And I know that it's superheroes in wrestling, and those was my childhood heroes, man. Still to this day, I'm studying them, picking their craft, and that's how good they were. That's how great they were. Cause still to this day, you know, and they're like 30 years into the business, I'm still studying like everything they did.
Okay, that's cool. Shawn Michaels, man, the man that's never had a bad match. That man is
Man,
that good.
I crave to know the business like he do, man. He was awesome.
Yeah, the man has never had a bad match, and the man could tell a story.
Oh
What?
God,
Oh,
yes,
jeez.
yes. He's Mount Rushmore for me, no doubt.
Yeah. Definitely. I wouldn't say he's one of my favorites, but he's definitely one I would not take a. Let's just say it, Shawn Mike. I'm a huge because he started out in the Rockers.
Hmm.
I'm a huge Rockers fan, but I'm not a Shawn Michaels fan. I'm not a Marginetti fan. I'm just a fan of the tag team. But I
Oh
will
yeah,
say this:
yeah.
if I heard Shawn Michaels wrestling, and I would not, I would stay right there and watch.
That good. The
Same
man's
thing
that
with a
good.
Ric Flair. I would just
Hmm.
sit there. Oh yeah, this wrestling, you do not go and through. You hold it. Ric
Yes,
Flair, Shawn Michaels, and I'm gonna put another one up there. Dusty Rhodes is another one.
the American dream, no doubt.
Yeah, you definitely sit down and watch those. So, how did your journey go from fan to oh yeah.
Uh, Fan to actually doing it, man.
So
What a ride.
how did your journey go from fan to wrestler? How was that for you?
Man, what a journey. Cause you know, I've been a fan since a kid. Actually going through school as well as, you know, always loving wrestling. I was athletic as well, so I played sports like basketball and football. Um, Graduated and continued to do it, and wrestling inspired me every time I watched it. And I told myself, like, let's do something with this before it's too late. What a blessing! I
Okay.
found DFW All Pro Academy.
Yeah,
Ooh, the rest is history,
yeah,
man.
from being like from fan to from fan to wrestler.
Hmm. You there with me, boss? Ooh, you know, in the academy, what's up, my man? The academy, is where
I'm
I
in
met
the
my
academy.
tag team partner, Eddie Martinez. So it's great. Definitely a part of me.
Cool. Yeah. So speaking of that, how horsepower. How did y'all come together as a tag team?
Actually, with this group of guys that we was having trouble with at the DFW All Pro show, and me myself, the Concrete Cowboy, and everything I was doing, Eddie Martinez as the power glider himself, they tried to joke with us, and in a promo they put together a joke calling us horsepower. That's what our team name would be. Me and Eddie got together, and the chemistry was so right and so well. Horsepower was born from there. With the power glider coming with his speed, and me with my country style, together we create horsepower.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that, man. I definitely like that. Like y'all just two different things and y'all came together and y'all just made it happen.
Yeah, yeah, it's
And
dope, man.
so you came out as you go to the ring as a cowboy pretty much.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of black cowboys out there. You know, there's you and there's only another guy who I'm pretty sure you've heard of, Brian Keith. Y'all
Oh,
are the
shout
only two that
out.
I know that come out as
Yeah, shout out to the bounty
yeah.
hunter. I don't know if you've seen him in person, man, but what a talent. It's really from our roots. He's from Houston. I was born in Lubbock, so all of my uncles, everybody above me was. So to most of the people who knew me for real, being a cowboy was a no-brainer because like you said, you don't see that many black cowboys. But everything Brian Keith has been able to do, man, it's different. And in my eyes, I almost wanted to give him that lane by himself because I feel like the world needs to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you ever were you like ever like so I gotta ask, where did you draw like inspiration for like the cow for being a cowboy? Were you like a fan of like westerns?
Everything, man. Because martial arts inspired me too. So it's a couple of MMA guys, and it's actually knowing the roots of the cowboy. You feel me? So westerns definitely is one, but for me, it's good anime out there. You know what I'm saying? Anime fuels my fire. And definitely fighting sports in general, MMA, boxing, all of this. So that's definitely where I get my cowboy inspiration. And you only know if you know, man. It's a Texas thing.
Yeah, that's yeah, but I remember but definitely when you come out there, man, it's like you're ready for like a showdown, man. Because I remember you came out there with a cowboy hat and you had it was against Super Aguila, and I would never forget this
Martinez
man went
and
into the ring and you were chopping the guy. Those are some intense chops, and you were counting in like Spanish, and you were like uno, dos, tres, tres, tres. I'm like, yo, this brother did
oh
not
man.
go in there and chop this man and count in Spanish.
Yeah, you feel me? I love lucha libre, but that really throw me for a loop, man. I did not know you was there, and what a show, man. There was a lot of people in that place, but just giving them a piece of me, even with the language barrier, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that was good there though, man. That was definitely good. So yeah, in terms of horsepower, um, after Fly Death, that's pretty much one of the most impressive teams in professional wrestling. I would say not just in Texas, in pro wrestling, period. Like
Facts.
those guys would give any tag team a run for their money. They'll give the Young Bucks a. I would say this with my chest out. I'll die on this hill too. Them boys would give um, the Young Bucks a run for their money. You
No
know,
doubt.
um, definitely give the Young Bucks a run for their money. I even go forward and to say this: they would they would pretty much they would pretty much be a good runner for the Usos as well too. Usos, having more experience, but at the same time,
Uh-huh.
they would definitely put respect on them boys' names.
It's
And I'm
definitely.
surprised that they haven't been picked up yet. But
Yes, that's
um,
right. It's only a matter of time, man. They're definitely that good. Never with Eddie,
yeah,
but I faced him twice, and actually in a series of matches with my big brother JD Griffey. And I know firsthand, man. Those guys, they're with it, man.
yeah. But definitely they're definitely pretty good, and it's only a matter of time till they get signed. But back to horsepower, man. I gotta
Talk
ask
to
you.
me. Talk to me.
A lot of tag teams now are out there doing the damn thing. And I gotta ask, I got Eddie's top five on who he wanted y'all to face. But I have to ask the other half. I gotta ask, the
Okay.
concrete Nate Collins, man. Who is on Nate Collins' top five that he wants to face, that he wants horsepower to face?
Man, I actually been seeing the besties. I love everything they're doing. I would love to face them. It's another Texas tag team coming up called the Russell Twins. Man,
Ooh,
yeah, you feel me? I just seen them face Fly Death, and those
yeah.
dudes got some go.
They're
Um,
out of Louisiana. I heard of them.
hey, them boys saying something, and you know, I seen Fly Death and Fly 2s actually have a match at VIP Wrestling. Oh my goodness, fireworks! And I would love to see what me and Eddie could do with the Fly 2s as well. Um, we got a couple of matchups coming recently, and some of those teams I would like to face is actually finna happen in a couple of weekends or so. So as far as those we haven't, I say that'll be my people right there. We got the Russell Twins, the Fatu, the Besties. I mean, a lot of people coming, man.
Wait, which too far to? Are you talking about Jacob and Journey, or are you talking about Cepha? Because it's a bunch of them.
It's Jacob and Journey. Those two there, man, they hard hitters.
Ooh,
They're hard hitters.
Jake, I seen Jake. Oh man, Jacob got me shook. I'm sorry, and I don't say this about a lot of people, but I see this
Yes,
one fan,
he's a
and
monster,
it,
man.
it was it was the fan's fault. You probably saw it, the one that showed Jacob the finger, and he
Uh-huh.
made the mistake of go across that barricade, and Jacob was in his right because the fan. I tell fans, man, like you play them games, you gonna win them prizes.
Yes.
Stay behind them guardrails. If the promoter tells you to move from the front row, it's because they're about to do it. They're about to pretty much destroy that front row. And that
Yes.
was one of the first things that ACW told us. If you see the wrestlers coming at you, move. They're giving you a heads up.
And you know,
And ever since I saw that Jacob did that to that fan, I was like, yo, if I ever see this dude in public, I'm like, yo, brother, I'm gonna buy whatever merch you got, man. Just don't beat my ass, dog. Just don't
say
kill me, bro.
he's really a monster, but sharing the locker room with him, he had to be provoked in that moment. But the dude is
Yeah,
scary, man.
yeah. Like as a fan, like I know my role, man. Like I stay behind that barricade and I be easy. Boo if you want, cheer if you want, say you
Yeah,
ain't cool or whatever. But at the same time, and that's the thing. Like that gets me with fans. Like they do stuff like that, and then you're giving other fans like myself that are just there to enjoy the show a bad name and a bad vibe and a bad time. So
oh man, definitely. Cause
yeah,
without saying too much, man, we got a rule, and they almost teach you this from day one. I mean, this from our security to the referees to the good guy to the bad guy. If that fan make one wrong move, I mean, it's death upon his head, and anybody in the business will tell you that.
yeah, that's why I go to shows and I make sure I sit down don't say nothing. Like, but some of these fans, like, and I tell fans, I'm like, if you want to be, if you want the attention, go to school, go to wrestling school, train hard,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
graduate, and then you'll have all the attention you want. You could go out there, cut your little promo, and then all eyes will be on you, and that's it. But all this stuff with jumping guardrails and jumping in the rings, like, bro, and females, if
Oh,
you're not watching, this goes for y'all too, because y'all think y'all exempt.
it'll be trouble.
I saw a female one day too. She made the ridiculous mistake of the manager was getting heat, as you know, it was a heel manager. She was
Uh-huh.
getting heat. I don't, it's probably somewhere online. I think it was the guy's name is Ace Mayhem, and it was his wife. Ace, if you're seeing this, I don't mean to put your business out there, man, but it's already out there on YouTube somewhere. But it was in
Yeah.
Alabama, and homegirl was doing the heel manager thing, getting heat, and all of a sudden, boom, like um, the girl, I guess the fan got upset because she couldn't handle it, and she jumped the female manager when she wasn't looking. Ace was like, he heard a commotion. All he saw was some long-haired person jumping his wife. He didn't know if it was a dude. Dudes got long hair
Mhm,
too. So he
mhm.
started waiting on the fan. And it wasn't until last minute, until it was too late, that he knew that it was a female. But by that time, he had another male fan that jumped out and decided to attack Ace. And the rest of the boys just came down and the rest of the locker room just came down and just mollywhopped, the fan and
Mhm.
whatnot. So, I mean,
That's
this fan has got to
crazy.
be easy, man. Like, and I tell fans, I'm like, how jack if these wrestlers, came to your show or came to your place of work and started going to your office and just throwing up, paperwork,
Mhm,
messing with your
mhm.
computer. How jack if they came to your construction site and just started throwing around cement or messing with the
That
machine.
that
That's
part, man. Yes.
yeah. That's why that's like messing with somebody's job. So yeah, man. You know. But so after y'all, Lucha Brutal and all that, where y'all trying to? Do y'all have any other places that y'all are hoping to wrestle next? I know Eddie told me last night he's hoping that he's looking at FSW. He hopes he can make it there one day. I
Mhm.
really hope that happens because I've seen FSW. They got a lot of great shows, and he was mentioning GCW. But do you have any that you want y'all to check out as well too? Any within the country or even around the world?
Man, yeah, we really hoping to have a big mania weekend because that's where a lot of spotlights be, and after those type of events, it gives you those chances to network and get different places. We actually got a couple of states on reserve, man. But if we can get known, like in a couple of states next to us, next to be Florida, and then to be New York. This business have it led me into some awesome people. I'm huge friends with Private Party and AEW. So the next time they come, we trying to get on AEW Dark. So be looking for us, man. We got those opportunities coming.
Hey, I'm hoping it happens for y'all, man. I mean, best believe I'm gonna hit up my co-host who couldn't be here tonight. I'll be
Hmm.
like, yo, turn on YouTube, turn on the TV. Look who's on right now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's horsepower, man. Like Nate Collins and Eddie Martinez. We just had them on the show, you
And
know?
man, I'm gonna put it
And that's why,
over well. I'm finna put the show over well, and not only am I, happy to be here, I'm grateful to you for having this type of, foundation for us to come and tell stories. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, we appreciate that, man.
No doubt.
Um, yeah, that's why you see we here at Ringside Society, we don't care, man. Like we interview everybody, man. We don't care if you never make it to AEW or WWE. The fact
Hmm.
that you just go into that ring and put on a show for us, that's all that matters, man. I mean, we had your boy Greg Tech on here just the other day.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Yo, Remy, y'all should check out these two guys. Y'all should check out, Eddie Martinez and Nate Collins." So I'm like, "All right, cool. We gonna check them out." Told us that y'all were in like the
For sure.
in the main
Shout
event.
out, Greg.
I'm like, Greg, I'm like in my mind, I'm like, Greg, you giving us two of your main event players? yo, I gotta jump on this. I gotta make this happen like a captain. You
Shout
know,
out,
so
bro.
yeah. Hey, real talk. If I ever, hey, this is no cap. If I ever go down to Dallas, man, and I got the guap, definitely hitting up Greg Tech, take some of the photos, man.
Come on.
Definitely, that man does good work.
He's awesome, bro. He's a genius, man, no doubt.
Yeah. But I just got two more questions before I we go ahead and shut down the show. The
Yes,
second to last question is um in terms of professional wrestling, where do you see like Power Glide in a matter of in 5 years?
oh man, that's my boy. And really, I done so much, it's just been 4 years for me, but I see, Paraglider really becoming one of those guys, man. He's so young and he's so hungry, but not only that, he's talented. So without a doubt, we're gonna look back on this podcast and look back and know that y'all had the paraglider on here because he will be big.
Shucks. I should have rephrased that question. I meant to say horsepower.
You feel
Sorry
me?
about that.
Cause just as much as I feel about, the paraglider, I feel the same way for horsepower. I actually had got reached to by the WWE before the pandemic came down. The pandemic came, so we had to, reorganize the grind. We have the connects. All we gotta do is work hard and continue to work on our craft, man. And like you said, perseverance is gonna have us on the other side. We will be on those shows.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're right, man. Hey, real talk. Perseverance gets you there. And what was the other one? Consistency keeps you there. The
Yes,
Rock said
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
Perseverance gets you there. Consistency keeps you there.
In the short term goals, we finna collect up on some titles right now. Over the next few months, ending the year, we got plenty of title fights. So we finna put the gold around the waist right now.
Okay. Definitely looking forward to seeing that.
Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. So if you found my last question is in terms of tag teams. If two people were because y'all been tag team for like what a month, like a couple of months, right?
Yeah, I'll say like April we finally put it together. So yeah, you could say a couple of months.
Oh,
And
cool, cool. So if a couple of people like two wrestlers were decided to become a tag team, what advice would you give those two wrestlers?
man, they gotta compromise and meet halfway because it's about blending y'all style together, and I think that's why they jumped on me and Eddie so quick. Another thing I would tell them is something that Warren from Fly Death told me because I can't lie, I went to him just to get his advice, on how to push me and Eddie to really be a good tag team. And what he told me was go look at old school tag team matches and understand how you're supposed to cut off the ring. Because I have been a good, singles talent, but I had to, go back to the drawing board when it came down to tag team. So it's about blending the styles and it's about going to watch tape to see where tag team wrestling psychology plays its part.
Cool. So what were some of your favorite tag teams watching that y'all enjoyed like studying and so on?
Definitely when you said the Rockers, it's them because like really we was talking about it and they were like early day young bucks. That's really what the Rockers was, and they were great. Harlem Heat, as far as the culture,
Ooh.
you feel me? As far as the culture thing go, as far as the culture thing go, they were everything to me.
Well, the culture.
And definitely love what New Day doing. It show you that it's still a reason to be inspired, and that tag team wrestling really has a place in this business. Love the Usos. I could go on all day, man. Cause
Yeah.
the best friends in AEW. Jurassic Express, man. I love them all.
Yeah. I gotta say, New Day. New Day is a good one. When I first saw New Day, I had my doubts because I was like, as a black wrestling fan, you like to see something that represents you, and you know that you could strive to be just like, and so on. And granted, I was a
Hmm.
grown man. I was
Hmm.
31. I'm 31 when they first came out, so I'm like, man, another shot because Crime Time, it left a bad impression on me because the way they were booked.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying JTG and Shad Gaspard were bad athletes, but I didn't care for the gimmick. And
Yeah.
so when I
It was
saw New
corny.
Day, and then yeah, and then when I saw like um and then me living in New York too, I knew that New Yorkers weren't like that. That was like, hey, New York's ain't like that anymore. And
Hmm.
then when he had prime time players, I was like, okay. And then then New Day came along, and I was like, man,
See?
another black stable, man. They got him shucking and jiving. I mean, and I was like, okay, whatever, man. I mean, but then they actually started winning, and then I was like, okay. And then they turned heel. I'm like, okay, there may be something to this. Let me give them one more chance. And them boys blew it out of the water. They broke records, and I'm
Oh
like,
man.
well
Oh
done,
man.
well
Legends.
done.
Legends. And that's what they did.
Yeah. And I'm very glad for them. I'm hoping Biggie, whoever he cashes on, he actually gets that title.
Hmm.
And yeah, man. I mean, that's and Xavier Woods is pretty good too. Like people sleep on Xavier Woods. I people know Xavier Woods,
Hmm.
and I know you know the person I'm about to mention.
Come on
We
now.
probably know we know Consequences Creed.
Hmm.
We know the bad dude that was in TNA that had the afro and the American trunks that was straight up kicking ass and taking names.
A star,
That's one.
without a doubt.
Yeah, yeah. And he's definitely showing himself. He just beat the Miz, so hopefully he gets a bit more shine too, and
Hmm.
all that. Um, but yeah, man, I'm definitely glad for the New Day. And Harlem Heat was another good one too. Harlem Heat, the way they used to come and just intimidate their opponents. Like they go into the ring and all you see these two big guys just just shoving you in the corner and whatnot. They better not even start yet, but they're already
Bad
intimidating
boys.
you. Yeah,
Bad
man.
boys. The intensity as well. They were different.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed Harlem Heat, man. That was, and I knew about them before WCW. I knew about them when they were the Ebony Express, when they
Okay.
were down there, and you probably seen them too when they were in
The sport
Global
authority.
Global Wrestling Federation.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Skandar Akbar and them.
Yes. And
But yeah, man. But yo, Nate, real talk, man. I really and truly appreciate you actually, giving us this time to have you on the show and shoot the breeze about wrestling. It really means a lot. And hey, all the best in your match against, Fly Def, man. If I could,
yes,
if I could see that match, I know if I could see it on Fight TV or Title Match Network. But I'm gonna definitely check it out. I'm gonna definitely
I'm gonna
watch it.
find out.
I
I'm
got the
gonna
weekend
find
off,
out.
so
I'm gonna find out and send
I
that
got
to
the
you,
weekend
man.
off, so yeah. I got the weekend off, so I'm gonna definitely check it out and see. But before I let you go and I close the show, where can fans find you on social media if they want to find out when your next appearance is, if they want to purchase concrete merch or horsepower merch, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
You feel me? So they can find me and message me on both of these places. Nate Concrete _90 on Instagram and Twitter. And I accept bookings there. I'll talk to fans. They can find our merch. And me and Eddie got all the horsepower merch on Pro Wrestling Tees right now. You can find a link to that on Eddie profiles. And I'm grateful for the opportunity, man. It's awesome to be here.
Awesome, yeah, yeah. Y'all follow this man and definitely go ahead and cop some horsepower merch. As a matter of fact, if you from Texas, there should be no reason why you ain't see that fly hat right there. There should be no reason, and he got the shirt too. There should be no reason why you from Texas or you live in Texas and you ain't copping some horsepower merch. If you ain't copping that horsepower merch, you's a hater. And I'm gonna let my boy Rob come and eat all three of your meals. You know, your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Leave you starving for that day. So go out there, cop some horsepower merch. Check out Lucha Brutal. Hold my beer. You know, and watch these men do their thing in the ring for y'all, the fans, man. Definitely support indie wrestling.
Let's go.
Yeah. So with that being,
thank you.
Appreciate it. No problem. So with that being said, we're about to end the show right now. It's about that time, you know. But before I go, if y'all want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say, you can find me on Twitter under @TheRemyBlue. You can also find me on Facebook under Remy Blue. It's a picture of me at WrestleMania 28. Our podcast is also on social media. It's for Twitter and Instagram. It's under @Ringside Society. We're also on Twitch, which is one of the platforms this episode is being streamed on. It's Ringside Society 2019. And we're also on YouTube. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe to all our videos. And because we have a lot more interesting interviews coming on. We have a lot of interesting interviews in the past, like the one with yesterday's on with the Power Glider Eddie Martinez. And also we had Greg Tag on here as well. So definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. You know, we got a lot of interesting things coming for y'all. As a matter of fact, we have another Texan coming on here tomorrow at 7:00 p.m. who goes by the name of Antonio San Francisco. He'll be on here tomorrow, so definitely, you know, check it out as well. It's going to be interesting. And we're also on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, so join our group as well. And we have a Teespring store where we sell Ringside Society merch. All sales from those, all proceeds from those sales go back into keeping our show afloat. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight live. Thank you to our mods, Alicia the Warrior Princess and her lovely mother, and the Survivor Queen, Miss Jen. You can follow Alicia the Warrior Princess at Twitter and Instagram under Endo Survivor 282. And you can follow her mother on Instagram at Survivor Queen 424 and on Twitter at Jenlyn Bar 1. And shout out to Kathy Knight and Rob Bass who couldn't be here tonight. I know for those of y'all that have been watching us, Rob had training. He's a referee. He trained to be a referee. So but he'll be back tomorrow. Rob, I'm sorry for putting your business out there, bro. Please don't kill me. But he'll be back here tomorrow. Yeah, shout out to Rob Bass. But he'll be back here tomorrow. But with that being said, thank y'all for listening in live. To those y'all that are going to listen later on, thank you very much in advance. And to those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but we're not going anywhere for a while. You hate us because you ain't us, we ain't stopping. But with that being said, we just want to let y'all know that we're very well aware that everybody and the grandparents and the parents of a podcast, but we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. So I'm going to say this one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for Concrete Nate Collins and the Power Glider Eddie Martinez, collectively known as Horsepower.
There you go.
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.